Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream today. It's the 1st of February 2023, 3 minutes past 5 in the evening here in the United Kingdom. We're back in X-Plane 12. We're doing some general aviation today. It's been a really long time since we've flown any general aviation, and quite recently a developer called Thranda Design, I think that's pronounced correctly, Thranda Design, released the Cessna 337 Skymaster. Now, I've always been fascinated by this aircraft. When I did my PPL in my late teens at Fenland Aero Club, there was a Cessna Skymaster there, and I was always fascinated by it because it was so loud, and, you know, a twin-engine push-pull-me design, very unique. You don't see many aircraft like that, and I thought, now someone's actually released a high-fidelity modelled one, why not take it for a spin? And I thought no better way of doing that than doing VFR flying in the United States, going to the Grand Canyon. Now, we're in Las Vegas. It was McCarran Airport. I've only just recently learned it's been renamed Harry Reid International. We'll be flying to the Grand Canyon National Park Airport, VFR along actual official VFR prescribed routes and the corridors. Flight time will be about 1 hour 30 minutes. We'll be following real world checklist as well. This is a very high fidelity aircraft, so you've got to be careful of sort of the mixtures, your cylinder head temperatures. There's lots going on, but it's a really nice, and it's IFR equipped for you know, all your IFR flying, although we'll be utilising the GPS to fly these corridors today. If you head over to my Instagram, I have a pinned comment, you'll be able to view the map and our routing today, and also we'll be following the VFR corridors on the charts too. Anyway, let's zoom on in towards the aircraft. We are on VATSIM, but it's 9 o'clock local here in Las Vegas. I doubt we'll have any ATC at this time midweek, but who knows, we never might have some people joining on the sector too. Who we got in chat? You're in De Groot says good day to you all. Hello, Anthony. Looks like the Janet Jets are all out and about. If it's a Janet Jet, hope you're doing well. Rory Heap here as well. Good afternoon, everyone from Whitstable in Kent, United Kingdom. Hope you're doing well, Rory. Nice to see you here. J Dog, Lee Holdcroft, Reese, even Music is here too. Norman Dollar, hello all. First time catching this live. 11 o'clock here. Hope you're doing very well. Must be stateside as well. Domino Mosi and Hunter L. Mariano is here too. Jessica Hunt, Keith Martin, Edo, King Air Pilot as well. So howdy everyone. It's just about noon here on the east coast of the US. Lots of people from the United States. Now, it is a default airport here. You know, the scenery here doesn't look anywhere near as good as Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I downloaded Ortho 4XP for the entire sector, and I think the Ortho 4XP looks absolutely amazing in this sim. It's not the Forkboy one, it's just standard Bing Maps Ortho 4XP. It looks so good, and it just suits the routing of this aircraft very well. But here we are. Here's the Thranda Designs Cessna 337 Skymaster, completely cold and dark. All the tie downs in and all the chocks in place, and also the engine intake guards here. Now, I was reading about this aircraft with the push-pull-me design. The rear engine, when they first built this aircraft, was prone to massive overheating issues. I think they upgraded it in this version. They sold, I think it was a few thousand versions of this, and it was a lot more reliable, better speeds, better fuel economy, and that is what this version's based on here today. We've got default AI traffic, ground traffic taxiing all over the place, and we're Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra. As I said, we are VFR, but we're actually online as the Alpaca 337. This is Alpaca's Las Vegas tour company. We utilise the Alpaca call sign with a UK registered aircraft in America, but there you go. Anyway, let's jump on into the cockpit. You can see here the exterior design, very, very nice here in X-Plane 12. You know, it's got this sort of you know, twin rudder and elevator boom setup, but it's got loads of performance, really, really nice. But the fact it's really well equipped just allows you to fly this online IFR, VFR you can choose. But yeah, we'll do a bit of both today. Fly VFR, but we're going to fly a DME arc onto the ILS in Grand Canyon National Park there. Hi Jeffrey B, the winds aloft are so broken at X-Plane 12, how do you deal with it? Is that recently, Jeffrey B? I've not had any issues in the most recent X-Plane 12 streams. We flew the Dash 8 and there wasn't any significant wind updates, but yeah, I've not experienced that personally. Maybe we'll be a bit lucky today. So we're sat here at 2,100 feet. I found online an X checklist. Now, X checklist is a plugin for X-Plane 12, which allows you to run through a checklist and interact with the simulator. So if you configure or set the the power settings as required, it'll tick the box automatically for you, which is pretty cool. So we'll run through that. I don't know why though I'm having 2 checklist boxes open. I haven't fixed that. But here's the cockpit. Again, the cockpit lighting X-Plane 12's still a little bit dark for my taste, but we're sat here in the pilot's seat, and usually I think it only has one door on the right hand side. You can't actually get out here on the left hand side, or can you? Or maybe you can. I don't think it's perhaps modelled here. But things like the ashtrays modelled, the little window here makes things quieter and louder. All the circuit breakers are modelled as well. I was having a play at that earlier. Mirchai, you trying Tobii eye tracking? You know what? Let me see if it's... No, because there's compatibility issues at the moment, I have not... I'll turn it on during this... Actually, you know what? Let me just see if I've got it running here in the background and activate it, because I'm not going to be using better pushback today. Let me just have a little look here, because it would be perfect to use it today. Let me have a look here. Games, X-Plane 12. Let me just enable it and see what happens. There we are. I've just turned it on. Okay, you know what? Let's use it today. I'm not going to use the yoke cam today. I haven't got it activated. I just need to lower my seat slightly. Off on. Let me just reset the camera. There we go. So yeah, you know what? We'll do that when we're flying around the canyon, and we can have a good look around. I just need to reset my view though. But yeah, let's do it. I've got it activated now. Thanks for reminding me that I even had it installed. Is better pushback still not right? Not working for me right now. It seems to be okay, Stratocast, but there's some compatibility issues with Tobii eye tracker and Zebo and other aircraft as well. Welcome, Crichton. Well, you already are a member. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for your continued support. Enjoy using the custom modes in chat. I hope you enjoy the members-only Discord. Vlogger, after using Tobii for a while, would you recommend it? Yes, I do really enjoy using it. I think it works a little bit better in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but then again, you know, it is working quite well here. But yeah, I think for today, looking around the Grand Canyon, this could be quite nice. But yeah, I would recommend it personally. Right. So yeah, here's the cockpit. You've got your standard sort of Cessna layout here. You've got all your switches down here below the pilot command side, the left-hand side here. The engine controls for the ignition system. Your standard instrument layout. So you've got the artificial horizon, airspeed altimeter, VSI, HSI turn coordinator, GPS, 2 GPSs here, transponder, and you've got engine instrumentation here as well. Now, Thranda Designs has a lot of customization here. Now, you can... You remove all the covers. In fact, you know what? We'll just do that now as we're about to go flying. So let's get rid of the covers, tie downs, close the doors. You can make your own livery. You can design it, paint it, colour it as you would. These are based off the flight deck to sim colours, and you can change them on the go. You press apply and it will change it right in front of you, which is really cool. Weight and balance, it's fully interactive. So just to show you, look, if I empty the fuel on one side, fill it up on the other one, look how it tilts on its gear. So it's an instantaneous weight and balance system, which is really nice to see. We're going to just take Jim and myself, so let's load ourselves in here. How much would I weigh? What's a standard weight? 175 pounds, not too far off that. There's Jim and I. You can have a little cargo pod underneath as well. That slows your cruise speed by about 5 knots, but you can add that too and add some weight too, and you can see your load envelope, which is quite nice. So Jim and I are on board. You've got camera presets. You can control the volume here. I use the B2 volume control plugin for that. Now, the panel, there's a lot of options here customization-wise. I use panel preset 1, but you can have sort of no GPS. You can download the plugin for that fancy GPS as well, so you can have that too. There's 5, and then you can edit them. So I'm actually using panel preset 1, which is an IFR equipped aircraft, and I'll get rid of one of the GPSs. So I've got the GPS here, which we'll be utilising today for the routing. So yeah, it's a lot of customization available. But the slim yoke cargo pod, as we said, you can display the pilot's dyno feel intensity. You can change how the aircraft feels based on your preferences. But yeah, very impressed with the customization available. Now, just before we power up the aircraft, let's talk a little bit about our routing today. Let me bring up Navigraph. Now, the new Navigraph charts update is so good. Really nice VFR. Now, believe it or not, this large international airport does cater for general aviation. We're actually on the general aviation parking stand. They're using 19 right here in real life. And VFR departures, it will be by a radar. We're going to take off, climb runway heading, 1,000 feet AGL. I'm going to make a left turn direct to the Boulder City VOR. And we'll hand fly the departure. We're going to go up to 8,000 feet today. And then from there, we'll be routing via GPS waypoints coordinates. So we're going to go directly... what's the lake called? Is it I can't remember what it's called now. Someone will check will remind me. We're going to go towards Meads Crow, and then Victor Papa 769. The Colorado River's here, and the Hoover Dam, I think, is... Where is it? Oh, it's over here. We're going to miss the Hoover Dam, I think. Or no, I can't remember where it was. And you can see here, all these waypoints are called Victor Papa 753. Now, these are not... Lake Mead, thank you. These waypoints are actually visual reporting points. They've all got names, look. So, Pierce Cannon, Bat Cave, Spencer Cannon, Diamond Creek. And look at this. We're going to follow the Colorado River, the Grand Canyon towards Twin Peaks, and then we're actually going to go a little bit off the beaten track here. The reason is I am trying today to stay away from the no-fly zones, and our routing does that. And what we're going to do, you can see here there's a waypoint. Let me just move Abitab over so you can see this. There's a waypoint here called Cundy. There's Cundy there, and from Cundy we're going to route direct to this waypoint called Victor Papa Golf Charlie Alpha, and this here is part of the arrival for Tuck-Up Corridor. Now, we're not going to follow this corridor north. We're going to go east towards this next waypoint called Victor Papa Golf Charlie Charlie, which is here. Then we're going to fly the Fossil Canyon Corridor over the Grand Canyon towards Bedrock Canyon towards Victor Papa Golf Charlie Delta. So these are GPS waypoints you could program in your modern Cessna. 8,500 eastbound VFR. Good altitude would be either 7.5 or 9.5 or 8.5. I've got from John Franco. You US guys will be better. So what shall I go for? Should I go for 8.5? We'll go 8,500. Although I feel it should be odd, but we'll go 8.5 for now. So there we are. We're going to go towards Fossil Canyon Corridor, and then I'm going to go to a waypoint called Dozit. That Dozit just keeps us away out of this no-fly zone, and then we're going to just go towards Victor Papa Golf Charlie Golf, which is here, route southbound towards Victor Papa Golf Charlie Foxtrot, and this is called the Dragon Corridor. So it's a really nice scenic route which takes you over the Grand Canyon, and then from there we're going to route direct to Amir, and then we're going to fly this DME arc onto ILS 03. So we'll that's the routing I've chosen. I sort of stitched it together using some real charts and some real guidance online. It might be encroaching in the no-fly zone slightly, but I just made it myself, and it's just the Navigraph tool. The VFR charts now are really, really nice to be able to confirm that. East is odd, west is even, so 8,500 for westbound. Okay, so should we do... Let's do 9,500. Well, no, I don't want to get too above the ground, but 7.5 is a bit low. Let's do 9,500. 9,500, and then we're following rules even more accurately. I'm going flying solo this afternoon. Best of luck, Kai VW, with that. Right, anyway, let's get the show on the road here. I love having X checklists, so we'll fire that up here. So here's all the reference charts. This is not included with the add-on, but X Checklist is a free plugin, and then lots of different people make checklists for different aircrafts, and this one was available since last week. In fact, I'll update the video description linking this later on. Scramble the F-16s out of Nellis Air Force Base. Yes, we're encroaching no-fly zones potentially today. So here's all your placard speeds. I like the Cessna airspeed indicator because most of these are indicated. So your VNE 198, max manoeuvring structural speed 165 is top of the green bar where the yellow bar is. 110 knots is full flap. That isn't actually indicated, but is it? What's the top of the white bar on a Cessna again? 104 knots, around 104. Can't see actually. The blue speed is like your final approach speed. End of the green one is, or end of the white one is your stall speed. Stall speed dirty, so 61 knots, and 70 knots is your stall speed clean. So yeah, really like the Cessna layout. I've always preferred Cessna over Piper. So it's doing the exterior pre-flight, doors and baggage. We've closed them. Fuel. So what we're going to do today, we're going to load up full load of fuel. That's what I used to always do when I went flying in a light aircraft, if we could take it. So you can see here we've got 46 gallons a side, so we've got full wings, so fuel is done. We don't need a GPU, baggage doors closed, P-turn passengers there in Gemini. There we are, so all switches are in the off position. Yeah, these should be off. There might be some others not off, I think that's right. Master switch is on, so let's just turn off the music for a second so you can hear all the sounds. It's got a custom FMOD sound, it sounds really nice. Top of the white bar is VFE, thank you. There we are, so batteries on. Cockpit lights as required, happy as they are. Alternator for forward and rear, I believe they're on. Voltage regulator selector switch red, regulator 1 or 2. We'll put it on 1. Landing gear, light and horn, push to test. So we've got a warning horn. And the lights as well, so that's been tested. Cowl flaps are open, which are here. As I mentioned earlier, the rear engine is prone to overheating, certainly on earlier models, and it's got a really cool digital cylinder head temperature monitor, an EGT monitor, for leaning your mixture and monitoring your temperatures. So we've got to manipulate the cowl flaps in the cruise to keep the temperatures where they need to be. Elevator trim is neutral. Now, despite it being in the neutral position, I can't get it to trigger that, but I am happy it's neutral. Rudder's neutral, powers at idle. Propellers, both low RPM. I think it's just to move them. Mixtures both lean. Fuel tank selectors in the green for takeoff and landing. So over here we want... Oops, no. How do I... Oh, how do I get this to turn? There we are. There we are. Takeoff and landing for front and rear. Fuel quantity check. Beacon light can come on. Just verify I've got no ATC. No, so we might be able to start engines in real life on the apron without clearance. Every airport's slightly different, but beacon light we can now turn on. We'll get the aircraft started before we start loading up everything up. Just about to say FMS, GPS. Guys, I've been up since 4 AM this morning. I've been at work, flown halfway around Europe and back, so do bear with me. I might be getting a little tired later on. Power, open up an inch. Propellers to high RPM, which I've assigned to a button on my joystick. Both mixtures to fully rich. There we are, both yellow. Fuel pumps on. Fuel pumps are on. Let me just get rid of that one here. And if engine area clear, we'll... Oops, we'll start the engine. Clear prop. There you go. There we are. Absolute immersion. So let's start. What order did it want it in? Rear first, then the front. So it's going to be a bit loud, so we'll turn it down. There we are. That's the rear, starting the front. Oops, that's one way to do it. Excellent, engines have started. Let me just turn the sounds down slightly. There we are. So we've got start. We did that. Both. We can check that item. I'm not happy with that one. Both yellow pumps off. Power set 900 to 1300 RPM. So a little bit too high there. Mixture to avoid plugs fouling, lean a little. Now I never did that when I was doing my PVL, but we'll lean it a little bit. GPU's disconnected. Next checklist. We best just check everything's where it needs to be. So we've got oil pressure in the green. The oil temperature and cylinder head temperatures will warm up. And we've got a little bit of suction, but the RPM's low. So looking good. Avionics will now turn on, which is here. There we are. Avionics is powered. We said we're going to go up to 9,500 feet, so I'll preset that here. High voltage test button push. Now, where was that? I think it was that one. There we are. That's tested. De-ice pressure light button push. So we've got some. Oops, we've got some boots here on the leading edge here. Suction in green arcs. I might just need to add a little bit of power just to get the suction where it needs to be. There we are. Bus voltage 27 volts. All engine parameters monitoring. And there you go. You can see the cylinder head temperature. I think this is in degrees Fahrenheit. So the EGT is 1400 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see the cylinder head temperature slowly warming up there. Right, next checklist. ATC request weather file flight plan, which we've done. HSI and bug will align to the runway. So we're departing from runway 19 right. So heading bug 194, which is over here. 194. We'll just set the HSI to 194 as well. That's the runway direction. Altimeter set the local QNH, so let's get the inches of mercury here in Harry Reid. So that's 3029, which is about 1026. I didn't know that, it's just on my conversion app. There we are, 1026, indicating the elevation, which it is, 2,200 feet. GNS, enter the flight plan. So, that flight plan I showed you, I have saved it as an FMS format. So if I go here to flight plan, rotate this to here, there it is, class to KGCN, I'll push that, enter. And have a look at that. Flight plan's all entered. And you can do that with SimBrief. You can save that format, pop it in your X-Plane 12 output folder, and then you just simply open it like this. Looking good. So that flight plan's all in. First waypoint is going to be direct to Boulder. So what I'm just going to do here is press direct. Just select the Boulder on the flight plan, activate. There we are. So it's now routing direct to Boulder, which is what I want. So that's all set. Okay, avionics set, transponder. We'll put that. Ooh, what is the squawk code for VFR conspicuity? Is it squawk 7000? We used to. I mean, I'm just going to set 2000 for now. 2000. Oh, I don't like a 12-hour clock. I think it was function. There we are. 24-hour clock. It's got a timer as well. 1200 squawk. 1 2 0 0. Hey, 1 2. Oh, there we go. 1200. Mircha, who said cheating? What's that? What am I cheating with? I'm not so sure. So that's it. That's all set. And the Boulder VOR. Let me just grab that off the charts. 2 seconds. So let's tune this up here. 16.7. 16.7. So we'll select that on Nav 1 and Nav 2. 16.7 on box 1. There we are. I can see it's all turning. Nav 2. I've got my radio tuning panel here. 116.7. So that's active on box 1 and box 2. Right, let's now carry on with the checklist. Cheating the routing insert. Oh, Mircha, we'll be here for 20 minutes if I was to type that routing in manually. Cabin air, heat and defrost. You comfortable, Jim? Yeah, I thought so. Nav lights we can turn on. There we are. Request taxi. Taxi light on. We'll do the power checks, the whole point. Parking brake release. Test. We'll go from there. So, taxi routing. Let me again bring up Naviggraph for you. We're on the GA apron. We're going to taxi onto hotel all the way down. Well, we could take November. We could even take Juliet. I might go to Juliet just because it keeps us out of the way of any other traffic, IFR traffic, big jets and stuff. Right, so that's that done. Release the brakes. Add a bit of power. Have I not removed the chocks? Jim, you forgot to move the chocks. Out you get. Go on. Oh no. Right, general chocks. Boop, there we go. Oh, good as new. Right, brakes released. Hold on, let me just set the parking brake again. Sometimes it doesn't trigger the checklist here, so I press next here. Brakes tested. Well, it's not triggering that. So we're going to turn to test the HSI. So just do right. HSI is moving, as is the RMI. And that's set there as well. And we'll go to the holding point. There we are. Next checklist will be at the holding point there. Right, so I'm just going to go in a straight line here until we join hotel. I think it's just a huge GA apron. We won't actually know what there's a think over there. It's a line. Now, any X-Plane experts here, look at the windscreen. I don't know if you could see here. Look, it's like a bit blurry, and I've noticed this in every aircraft in X-Plane 12. If I head outside in this view. Look, it's a much better picture. I just wish it didn't have this blurriness on the windscreen, which I'm getting. But we'll turn on Tobii Eye Tracker. But yeah, the Ortho 4XP today is absolutely stunning. You'll enjoy the flight today, I hope. Right, but yeah, if anyone knows how to disable this sort of blurry, dirty windscreens, because it's on every aircraft, not just the Thranda C337. I'm getting it in the mod and other aircraft too. Get Jim to clean your windscreen. Well, that is an option. That is an option. Oh yeah, I better be. Hold on. I've just realised I am online here. I should be telling everyone what I'm doing. Just make sure I'm on 1228. 1228. There we are. Oh yeah, what's it? Hi, Reid traffic. It's Alpaca 337 taxi hold point 19. Right, there we are. I've done it. Yeah, it taxis really nicely. It reminds me of flying a GA aircraft. Sort of when you brake, look, it sort of jerks. If you make an aggressive turn on the rudder, it sort of dips down on its nose gear. It reminds me so much of flying a light aircraft. the sounds of this thing. This aircraft in real life is incredibly loud, both in the cabin and outside. What's the airport called? Did I get it wrong? I forgot what the airport's called. It's Harry Reid. I got it right. What a cronker. Yeah, there's a military version. They've got hundreds of them. There's Jim and I. Jim's grown his hair. It's just got a little one beacon light on the right vertical stabiliser. It's really cool. Right, passing Sierra. We'll carry on going north, and as I said, we'll get all the way to the end. And then we'll do our power checks at the whole point. You can honestly just say Las Vegas traffic. We'll go with that. Got lots of pre-assigned views here. Looks like flying car with the removable wings from the 60s. You know what Stratocaster does? I remember seeing a video of that on YouTube. Brilliant. Hello, Tennessee. Somebody says, "What's up, flight sim nerds? Welcome on board." And this is just default Las Vegas here. Oh, racket. Cow flaps are fully open. Got this lovely digital display here. So center head temperature is about 146, 150. They're actually cooling down now. So actually, question for any GA pilots here, because I haven't flown GA in over 12 years. Would I try and get the cylinder head's temperatures up at the moment and actually close the cowl flaps? They are quite cold and actually cooling down at the moment. Is this Las Vegas? Never mind, says AB. I think he just found out. Yes, it is. So I think when we depart, we actually won't turn until we're at the end of the runway before going towards the Boulder view arm. That plane was used in a movie, Bat 21, if anyone else has seen it. No, I haven't. I always wonder what rating you need to fly these things. I think you just need a PPL, I think. That's it. Don't need any other rating. Great thing is, with this, obviously, if you have an engine failure, there's no asymmetric roll. You know, it's easier to deal with. So if an engine fails, you just carry on with one engine. It's obviously a massive performance issue. But multi-engine rating, yeah, I don't know. Longcat has its own rating. Interesting. You do need a PPL multi-engine rating. That's right. Oh, okay. It would make sense having two engines. I'll be taxiing for most of the stream. There's a little bit of noise on my throttle control on my joystick. Right, we've made it all the way to the end though. We'll just hold short of 19 right, do our power checks. Go to hold point Juliet. Doesn't seem to be anyone around here. You can even shut down on one engine in cruise if you're cheapo and want to save fuel. It's a checklist for it. Is it actually save fuel though? I guess if you shut it down and feather it, it possibly could. There we are. Right, there's Juliet for 19 right. We'll hold short here. There we go. Parking brake is set. Let's bring up the checklist. So holding point, mixture now to fully rich, which it is, and even though it's fully, maybe it's not happy because of the altitude. It's fully rich though. We'll click that there. Power to 1800 RPM now. There we are, and we'll do a mag check. So check the item. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't let me check. Check here. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work properly. If we get to 1800, it should automatically tick this, and I can't tick it manually. Anyway, we'll do a mag test ourselves. Let's check the left mag on the rear engine. No more than 150 RPM drop. It's quite hard to do this because the RPM gauge is over here. Oh, I forgot to mention there, Thranda Design, you can click out any of these. So let's actually do it this way. That's actually quite cool. So left. You can see it dropping no more than 150. Back to both. To right. It's the same. To both. Left. Dropping no more than 150. To both. To right. No more than 150. back to both. There we are. We've done all those to the other propeller as well. Alternator test. So alternator forward and rear off. Verify you have a negative amp and not charging, which we do. Alternators back on. Power to idle. Pusher props are louder. Yeah, you got the airflow from the front engine. I think it is extremely loud from what I've heard. Right, parameters monitor. Cinder head temperature again is still very low. Oil temperature slowly increasing. Oil pressure is all good as well. Set 900 to 1300 again. Mixture lean a little to avoid fouling the plugs. Flaps fully down, so we're just going to cycle the flaps. Back up. Sounds like an old diesel tractor. It's pretty loud. That's the flap cycled. Oh yeah, it's quite cool. I'm not going to do it for this stream, but if you push this button, look, it's like you have your headphones on. It goes very quiet. Great if you're on VATSIM and want to get rid of that noise. We're ready for takeoff, guys. So strobes to on, landing light on, taxi light off, transponder to out. Out. Elevator trim set for takeoff, and speed set as well. Flight controls full and free, so let's just check those. Full forward, full back, left, right, rudders, right and left. ATC clearance for takeoff. Start the flight timer, parking brakes release, and then we take off. Boom. Runway heading, we'll go flaps a third. Propeller high RPM, fully rich. Mixture, parking brake release, full power, 70 knots rotates, and then we're going to take off and climb at 105 knots initially. So we'll try and do that by memory. We'll be going from there, and we're going to climb runway heading till the end of the runway. Once we are at the end of the runway and above 1,000 feet AGL, so at least 3,100 feet, we'll make a left turn direct to Boulder City VOR 16.7. Which is active, and these needles are pointing directly to the VOR as well. So, if you're ready, guys, in fact, for ultimate realism, I'm just going to disable Tobii eye tracker because it does affect the camera here, the X-plane camera. So if I just disable it, it just lets me press the buttons. Let's get the clock up as well. Function, flight time, there you are. Brakes released. Just make sure actually no one's on final here. No one else is here. Excellent. And Las Vegas traffic count back at 337 taking off runway 18 right. Let's go. Togas and chats. Let's go to the Grand Canyon National Park. Not sure about the sound. One sounds like a window is open. That's what it sounds like if you leave a window open. But I will turn it down slightly. There we are. Right, hold it on the brakes. Excellent. Get rid of this flight plan page. We don't need that. Full power. Excellent. Release the brakes. Oh, start the timer as well. Ah! I forgot to start the timer. Oh! Okay, how do I do that? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Just know the takeoff time. 17:36. Airspeed to live. 70 knots. Rotate. Whoop. There we are off the ground. Brakes. Atmospheric climb. Gears up. Trim. Great sounds. Now open the window. Sounds like a bomber. Right. Carrying on runway heading. We'll wait until the end of the runway, then we'll route direct to Boulder City. Wait until 1,000 feet AGL. It's so loud I can't even hear the traffic on VATSIM. I hope the volume's okay for you guys. I'm nearly at the end of the runway. There we are, flying directly overhead it there, because that was the view. Let's turn left direct to Boulder City. And we can select the flaps up. We should be doing about 100. Way too slow here for the climb. Should be doing about 105. Temperatures are still warming up. Bring the power back now as well. 24 inches for climb. RPM back to 2500 initially. And we'll climb at 110 knots. There we are, that's direct Boulder City. Let's just line up the HSI. And we're going to go up to 9,500 feet. We'll just redirect. There we go. Don't know what the wind's doing here, but we're flying directly towards it initially. Hi Abby, 27 months, 2 engines. Does it affect fuel burn? Yes, absolutely. Almost twice as much fuel burn than one engine, Abby, I'd say. Thank you very much, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your continued support there. There we are. Let's have a look at this after takeoff checklist. So, we've done all this. Oh my days. Right, normal climb. Propeller, it's 2,600 RPM. A little bit higher on the RPM. Power 24 inches, which we've set. Fuel mixture, we can lean off a little bit as we climb. Just do now. Cowl flaps are open, which they are. There's the blue light. Oil pressure 30 to 60 psi, which it is. It's in the green band. Oil temperature 75 to 240, which it is. Cylinder head temperature between 200 and 460. It is perfect and warming up. Keep an eye on that. All breakers pushed in, and that's it. We're in the US, so we don't need to set standards as max performance climb. And next will be the cruise. We'll level off at 9.5. So a slight right turn as we fly towards Boulder City. What do you think of the add-on, guys? You know, graphics and textures. You know, you've got great aircraft there, but I think for X-Plane 12, it's really nice. As far as I can see, this is a Cessna 337 through and through. Really like it. I just love having these. You don't find aircraft equipped like this anymore. You've got your diamonds and fancy touchscreen aircraft. This is proper IFR flying, although we'll be following the GPS shortly. Can we have a little bit more American vibes? Your accent, please. Yeehaw! Oh dear. But yeah, the Ortho guys, you watch as we get further east. Absolutely stunning. Passing 6,000. Remember, we're cruising up at 9,500 feet. We'd still be in Las Vegas controlled airspace here, so we'll be getting vectored around all over the place. Yeah, give me a HSI over a Garmin Ultra Hyper all day. Yeah, it works. Sounds are very good. It's all in trim here. One of the things I love about this sim, once you've got it all in trim, just like with a real airplane, you can just make very small inputs on the controls. It's holding the trim speed beautifully. 110 knots. Standard X-Plane graphics, yeah, you know, I think Microsoft Flight Sim is certainly better in many aspects, but I think if we just look outside here, we just turn the sim down slightly, so definitely more. You have a look out here. I think the Ortho actually, in my opinion, looks crisper and better quality. That's my opinion, and you'll see the Grand Canyon in a short while. It looks really, really nice with Ortho 4XP. Anyway, let's just fly a little bit more accurately. When we get up to 9.5, I'll engage the autopilots, and then we'll carry on from there. So have to remember, it's a naturally aspirated engine here, so you have to keep adding power as you climb. So back to 24 inches. You can tell it's got so much more performance than a single engine Cessna. Zoom level 17, that is correct, Listerman. And Ortho 4XP does look very daunting to start with, but once you've actually, I mean, look at that. Once you've actually gotten used to it and how it works, it's very easy to install. This took me, I just started for download, took me a minute to set up and choose the tiles, download it. You know, you can leave it overnight, you can leave it for a couple of hours, whatever, and then I just put them in my custom scenery folder, and that's it. Simple. Simples. Which is, you know, I get a lot of people saying, oh, how can you use this sim, it's so ugly. Just get Ortho, and that's all you need. The default airports are that good. You know, pay-where airports are also some excellent ones available, although Explain 12 doesn't get the same amount of love as Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I could understand if I was a developer. You're going to have a bigger audience for Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, there's going to hopefully be some good choices available. No, I just use Zoom level 17 everywhere MGS1. If I'm in the 7.3, I'll do 16 en route, sometimes 15, but 17 around the airport. 1 to go. Welcome aboard NACI, hope you're doing well. Thanks for becoming a member on the channel. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the customer agents chat. Thank you very much. Yeah, the cockpit though in Explain 12 is still very dark. If you look down, it doesn't look so bad, but when you're sort of looking out, it dims everything. I think it's sort of trying to replicate the behaviour of your eye, but I don't like it. I just wish it would stay the same colour. It's just a proper IFR setup. Love it. Anyway, about to level off. So much information. Right, let's level off there. So trim nose down. We want between 23 inches now for the cruise. So 23 inches is set. So we're approaching the VOR, so it's going to get very sensitive now. Just make a slight left turn here. There we are. Let's get the autopilot engaged now. So we'll go altitude. I'll just make sure I select vertical speed here. Oops, it wasn't quite trimmed there. And we're just going to go to heading select briefly. Heading select. We'll set up the cruise mixture shortly. And we're now directly overhead the Boulder City VOR. We'll shortly be overhead the Boulder City VOR. And then we're going to make a left turn outbound 050 towards the Meads waypoints, the Meads waypoints. So what I can do here, we're pretty much directly overhead to the VOR. We'll be in 30 seconds. I'll go here to flight plan. There's a little countdown look. Left turn to 049 in 9 seconds. It's really cool. Direct. Go here to flight plan. Select Meads. Enter. Activate. We'll now go to GPS and turn on nav. Now the aircraft's turning towards Meads using GPS. There we are. Now we can finish setting up the cruise power setting. So mixture, oh no, RPM 2,200 to 2,600. So let's go about, yeah, still got it very high here. Let's go around 2,300. Mixture is set. We wanted about 23 inches. I can't get any more than that. That's 21 with full power. And remind me, when it says 50 degrees rich peak of EGT, so we'll bring up that gauge. So I basically lean off the mixture, wait till it peaks. Not going to be ICO. There we go, it's peaked. And then you go 50 degrees the other side, on the rich side. About there. I think that'll do. And cylinder head temperatures are good. 288, 287. They're actually slowly falling, so maybe I need to close the cowl valve. We'll keep an eye on that. Cowl valves are closed, but I've noticed this, guys. Any tips would be appreciated. If I close them, watch the cylinder head temperatures. They start increasing very quickly, which is really nicely modelled. I left it earlier, I came back and it was nearly at 500 degrees. It's very, very hot. But we'll close them for now. And there we are. We've made it in the cruise, although it's doing a good job maintaining altitude. Oh yes, I can see why. It's not VS. There we are, and we'll just keep the HSI aligned with our course. Inbound to the Meads waypoint. So this is Lake Mead. And once we're there, to Crow, and then to Pierce Canyon. And I'm very curious to see the Bat Cave, which is down here. We'll keep monitoring that as we go along, because it's really nice to have that. Guys, I hope that's not too loud. I might just turn it down again slightly. But yeah, there we go. That is Ortho 4 Explain 12. I think it looks absolutely stunning, personally. I did when I was setting up there. Oh, Hoover Dam's on the right. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, there it is. Hey, not bad. It's actually half modelled in X-Plane 12. I'm a bit concerned about the road though. There is the Hoover Dam. Nowhere near that high of a water level in reality yet, I guess, after last summer as well. But I'll be curious if you were to load up in Microsoft Flight Simulator now and look down, what it would look like in comparison. I should think probably a bit better in areas, but I think that looks really crisp. That bridge is a bit sketchy. So there you go, Jim. Jim and I are going to the Grand Canyon. That's Hoover Dam down there. Road is a bit ropey. Yeah, it looks great in Microsoft Flight Sim 2. Yeah, I should think that has some custom modelling. But I do really like these crisp textures. Yeah, not bad for X-Plane 12. Not bad at all. Right, so we're going to follow Lake Mead, as I said, to Meads. And then we'll go from there. We're burning about 70 pounds an hour per engine. How many pounds can this hold? 200. Hey, no, because it's 70. Yeah, 220 pounds, isn't it? 2,700. We took full tanks. But look at the cylinder head temperature still increasing. 377 degrees aside, still increasing. So, at what point should I open the cowl flaps? And I think you can open it in an intermittent way. If you move it to off, I think that just turns it off there, the little motor. But if you just hold it down for a second, it only opens it up a little bit. So I just do that and that. It doesn't open it fully, but it just opens it up a little bit. So you can see that there we are. They just opened a tiny bit. Let's watch the cylinder head temperatures now. 386. There we are. Seems to have stabilised. 386, 385. I think we'll leave it there. What's your ground speed now? Let's have a look. We do have GPS. 148 knots. We're doing 145. We might have a slight headwind, I guess. Perfect. Well, nice to do something slightly different for a change. We'll be about an hour and 10 minutes en route here. For those of you familiar with the Grand Canyon, I'd love your input. As I mentioned, if you missed it at the start, we'll be following the routing on Navigraph until we get to Cundy, and then we're going to go to Victor Papa Golf Charlie Alpha. That way we're sort of following real-world routing, flying away from the no-fly zones, or keeping out of the no-fly zones. And these are all programmed into the FMC, which I made using SimBrief, and then the Dragon Corridor, and that's our destination down at Grand Canyon National Park. Really cool to I like to try and do things, regardless of the aircraft, as realistically as possible. But yeah, for a G add-on, I don't have many premium G add-on aircraft. I've got the Just Flight PA-28, which I enjoyed flying, PA-34 Seminole, and I think this is actually the first ever Payware GA aircraft I've flown in X-Plane 12, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed testing it, and seems to work really, really nicely. And it's very versatile, this aircraft. You can fly VFR, you can fly IFR, it's got an autopilot, radar altitude, radar altimeter. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Perfect. Matthew, you've got to go fly over Canyonlands National Park just outside of Moab. Is it Utah? Stunning, he says, Matthew. Oh, very good. So we've still got that VOR tuned, but we're not using it anymore. Next VOR we'll tune is the one at Grand Canyon National Park. Inbound to Meads, then to Crow. And I think actually some of this routing here does get a little bit close to the no-fly zones, but that's when we go away from the Canyon Cundy to fly these corridors. That's Corridor 1 is from here to there, then Corridor 2 is here to there. It's nice to fly these real VFR corridors, and then we'll have a go at a DME arc onto the ILS. Do you prefer low wing or high wing? Said BPK 1234 high wing every day of the month. Well, for GA that is, because look, there's so much more you can see. And I always found the platform more stable, for me personally, compared to the PA28. Chris, how was your day, our beloved captain? You don't need to love me. Very nice. I was at work this morning. My alarm went off at a little past 4 AM. Went to work this morning, back at about 2:30. Planned this stream yesterday as I was on standby, and I am on standby tomorrow as well, which is nice. And then flying on my last day, which is Friday. The Robins have good visibility. Is that just because of the position of the wing was key? Because they do have a low wing. The 337 actually has amazing visibility both above and below, since the cockpit is in front of the wing. Yes, of course, actually. That's another thing. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, you're 172, your wing's directly above you. That's a good point. Love that. It's just some really nice little touches they've done here with Devs. I'm on earlies, Matthew Presley, 4 AM. Yeah, it's normal for us. Then, Cal, what do you think happened with Flybe? Can you confirm your involvement with them shutting down? Well, it was, you know, I don't think anyone saw it coming, and it was very strange how we streamed it 2 days later. They went bust because I think no one knew it was coming. I certainly had no idea. Yeah, I feel that all of the staff are now out of a job again. But the good news is, as compared to when Flybe 1.0 went down, that was in the middle of the pandemic. Now there's several opportunities worldwide for pilots. It is the aviation industry, certainly flight deck jobs, are very cyclic. They sort of go up and down with demand. 9/11, a huge crash, all the way until sort of 2013, 14, when it really started to pick up, all the way until the pandemic. And then the pandemic, big crash in demand, and now it's going up again. I mean, I haven't actually seen demand like this ever in my career. Jobs everywhere. Europe, you've got low-cost carriers, you've got EasyJet, Ryanair recruiting heavily. You've got a lot of the flag carriers, the Middle East, Emirates, Qatar, Etihad, all looking for flight deck. Crazy. And in the US, I believe it's even more demand. King Air Pilot, I live an hour and a half from the airport that I'm based at. Wherever we have an early show, it's a nightmare for me. Oh god, that's a commute and a half. We have to, at my base, you have to be within 1 hour of your based airport on your duty. Mustrum, glad to join and be along for the ride. Just remember to close those cowl flaps for your descent, as the bare engine can be supercooled, or rear engine, remember what you were trying to say. Yes, I'll bear that in mind. I think we've got a nice position, the cowl flaps now. Look, temperature seems to be hovering around 400 degrees Fahrenheit for the 7-day temperature. Sort of got it open a little bit, but there's some quite comprehensive manuals available when you're down this. You've got all the performance tables and charts. We've got a detailed PDF from the developer, about 1,600 pages or so, talking about all the systems, how to work them. Yeah, it's great. DK Pezza saw the 337s all the time in Miami doing charity flights. Brothers to the rescue used to fly them from Miami to Cuba looking for refugees in the water. The Cuban government shut them down in '96. Whoa. Wow. Longcat had an interview with them booked for this Monday. Pretty sure I'm cursed. Oh, wouldn't worry about it. Wouldn't worry about it. But look at other opportunities, Longcat. Vlogger, what's the max acceptable difference in fuel quantity on the 738 between the wing tanks? Because my PMDG keeps going crazy, the left wing, and I end up with 250 kilos difference. Yeah, that's unusual, even on long flights, sort of have an imbalance in excess of 200 kilos. Certain aircraft's engines are newer than others, so yeah, on a 4 or 5 hour flight you might have 150 kilos difference, sort of north of 200. Probably something's a bit up. In a PMDG you shouldn't have any imbalance, because it's a computer. It should program them accordingly. Left turn to 064 now. It's really cool, man. Let's see where we are. Alright, I've had Crow, and we are just following the lake all the way to the Colorado River, which sort of starts here at Pierce Canyon, so we'll look down right there. And then we are following the canyon all the way down. Yeah, have a look at... I'll put a little bit of stapler cam on so you can rotate around and have a look at the scenery as we fly, and then I can chat with you guys. So you can see here there's the edge of the ortho tiles, a slightly different shade of colour, but it's probably getting colour corrected or something. Oh yeah, but what is the max difference? So the inbow 453 kilos, 1,000 litres. That will come on there, but I've never had to do a checklist. I have actually balanced the wings when I've had about a 200 kilo difference before. But that's not very often. Hi Adam Honest 09, good evening sir, hope all is well. Very well, thank you. Thanks for popping in. Sounds great on this add-on. There's not much down there, is there? If you had an engine failure, you sort of certainly want to have a flight plan filed. There's a demand for heli pilots in the UK with the rigs, didn't know that. Is there a turbo version in the Thranda package? I don't think so, Nathan. It's only based off one variant there, the F variant, I believe. There are turbocharged versions, I've heard. Mustrum, they had a nice cargo bin that you could get strapped to the bottom of the cabin. They also had a pressurised version. Yes, I heard about the pressurised version, but look at this. Look what you can do here with the Thranda. Where is it? There you go, cargo pods installed. There you go. And just to sort of show you the modelling here, you go to weight and balance. If I add the cargo pod, you can also load it with weight as well, and it's instantaneous changes. Now, if we go here, have a look at the airspeed, it should add drag. So we're doing 145 knots indicated, just let it stabilise. Let me add the cargo pod. Watch the indicated airspeed, it should fall off a little bit. See that? Look at that. You lose, it said in the manual, about 5 knots with the same power setting for the cargo pod, because of the drag. Same way with the fixed landing gear on the Cessnas. If you had the guard around the wheel, you can sort of see the changes. But it's really nice to see that sort of modelling. Look, get rid of the cargo pod again, and you can see that the indicated airspeed is sort of going to stabilise, and now it's going to start increasing. There you go. There are pressurised 337s. Oh, I read 737s. Yes, there are pressurised. Yes, there are pressurised versions of this. So I've been learning. Yeah, the prop animations are very nice, aren't they? Very smooth. Is 145 knots kind of slow for one of those? Yeah, I've got full power set. Maybe it's the density altitude, which, you know, is actually quite accurately modelled in X-Plane 12, especially with temperature error. Orbex scenery, no, what you're seeing, if you've just tuned in, this is Ortho 4XP, free to download and install in X-Plane 12. No Orbex. I don't think Orbex covers this part of the world. Mike B, detailed aero drag modelled with X-Plane, yes. One of the reasons I do like this simulator an awful lot. The pressurised 337 is a dog performance-wise slowest climbing plane I've ever flown. Matthew, how loud was this? You know, I've heard one outside, it was incredibly loud. 2 rudders. 2 rudders. Look at that scenery ahead. So approaching Victor Papa 796, aka Pierce Canyon. We're going to make a right turn then afterwards southeast towards the Bat Cave, Victor Papa 779, and following the canyon all the way to Spencer Canyon, Diamond Creek, Twin Peaks, Cundy, and then we're going to follow these VFR routes, actual VFR routes through the canyon, which keeps us away from the no flight zones, almost to Grand Canyon National. XP12 looking really good today. Yep, very happy with how the sim's looking. The only currency you might have to pay for Ortho 4XP is FPS. Yes, I did struggle with that in my old PC. Used a lot of my CPU power, but I've been very fortunate with my build. Don't have that issue anymore. Pause key is a setting to move the camera slowly like that. Mine is way faster. Yes, make sure you hold down control. So if you hold down the arrow, but if you hold down control on the arrow, it makes it move a lot slower. Not really any louder than a PA-44 in the cockpit, if my memory serves me correctly. Landed like a butterfly though. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, the 34. No, sorry, yeah. Oh my god, I forgot. 44 Seneca, which I fly for the Seneca too. That was loud. Yeah, I do remember that. But yes, I mean, I think these settings seem accurate enough. 145 knots. We've got 2,350 RPM, 21 inches. But I'm at full power. Literally all the way. Cinder head temperatures are lovely. All temperatures are lovely. Pressure's in the green. Nice fuel. Outside air temperature here is about -2, -3. The ELT is ready to go in case we ditch it. Nathan, 337 is loud enough inside to put you in a bad mood unless you have a noise cancelling headset. I think everyone has one. Anyway, look, this is where the Grand Canyon really starts. From Lake Mead, I believe, or maybe it's the end of Lake Mead. And now we're really going into the canyon just off to our right here. In fact, let's go for the experience of a gym. Let me just activate Toby eye tracker. Ooh. What do you reckon, Jim? Very nice here. There's the canyon ahead. I mean, it looks absolutely spectacular. How many years has this been eroding Colorado River, all this landscape? Millions of years, isn't it? Let's go for your back seat look. Ooh. Very good. Superb. At least 12 years. I can't believe how good the ortho is. I think Bing Maps, I've certainly noticed Bing Maps the last few years have got better, just like the standard Bing Maps quality. I don't know if they updated it recently or anything like that. Microsoft have, but it looks really nice. I don't know where to look, it's all beautiful. This is zoom level 17, Yaroslav. Just 10 tiles I used between Las Vegas and the Grand Canyon. Look at that, that is the Grand Canyon all the way down here. Stunning. What's your altitude over the terrain? That's actually a good question. I don't actually know what the MSA is in this sector. Maybe the VFR charts can help us open it up. 10-4 to the north. I wouldn't want to be flying over here at night. 11-7 later. Peach Springs Grand Canyon West is down there to the right. But just look at the topography. Absolutely awesome. Oh yeah, we're approaching, look. The Bat Cave. Very, very good. They used to have an issue, a lot of clouds on the ortho. Glad they fixed it, yeah. Does a higher zoom level affect FPS? Yeah, so the higher the zoom level, the tile size increase exponentially. So from zoom level 16 to 15, you'll have to remind me, guys, what's a typical zoom level 16 tile? Is it about 800 meg, 1 gig, and then a zoom level 17 is 5 gig, and 18 is really, really high. But I can't really tell the difference from 17 to 18 unless you're about 10 feet above the ground. 17 is fine. 16 more than fine on route if you're above 10,000 feet. Look at this, absolutely stunning. So yeah, I get a lot of people comment on my videos, oh, X-Plane 12 is ugly and it's so, looks so cartoonish and rubbish. I think it looks better. Although, I think it looks better in my opinion. Having said that, the elements of Microsoft Flight Simulator I do really like. The weather, the immersion of that has, I think the weather's really improved a lot. And generally the quality of the buildings and scenic areas are really nice. Yeah, zoom level 17 tiles are huge. There's Beach Springs Grand Canyon. We're overhead the Bat Cave. There you go, iMatams. 17 is about 10 gig, 16 2.5 to 3 gig. Well, I was way off. Yeah, so FPS not really, but if you have it on an external drive, like I used to, it used to eat up a lot of resources when I moved tiles, especially at high speed. I think flying, look at the quality of that. Really nice. Obviously, if you were to get close to it, it'd be all flat, boring. But when you're up here flying around, it doesn't matter. Peach Springs Grand Canyon West Airport down there. But some of the best scenery I've ever seen in the simulator actually was Microsoft Flight Simulator when we took the gliders in Cape Town, and that was someone had made a Google app or something. If you go on YouTube, type in Flight Deck Sim Microsoft Flight Simulator gliders and have a look at the scenery around Cape Town, and that, I mean, it was a third-party add-on, but it was free to download. That was absolutely stunning. Have you seen the FPS over 4090 on Microsoft Flight Sim using frame generation technology? It's amazing. I haven't. Isn't that the graphics card, which is like the size of an aircraft chock? When flying Concorde the other day, I had a wall of cloud from flight level 50 to like, I guess 200 there. They really need to work on that. Doesn't sound unrealistic, Joseph Roy. I mean, was it generic cloud? But that's quite normal to, if you've got you can have a cloud layer between two heights. Yeah, I agree. I'm in terms with that. Now, I should be doing fuel checks. So I do actually have a operational flight plan here, but we took full fuel. You can see it's slightly off full. Were these like the Cessna gauges in the 150, 170, aka you never trust them? Or they are a little bit more, a little better in here. So the temperature seems okay. Probably about halfway in the sector now. Actually, we're a little bit longer because we're only wiggling slightly. Tenno, can we have a Concorde stream soon? Yes, I do have, or have paid for the Kolimata X-Plane 12 update, and I had a quick play of it, and it seems to be working okay. It's just getting down, sort of playing an aircraft like this in the stream. I only really wanted, I could do it in one sector. Concorde probably takes a little bit more prep and effort, which I love doing. It's just finding that time, which is quite busy at the moment. You could never trust the fuel gauges in any GA aircraft, says Matic. Yes, I remember. Well, at least the weather's on our side. It's a little bit windy at the Grand Canyon, but yeah, absolutely stunning here. Oh, it's cold at the Grand Canyon, -2, but that's probably to do with the elevations. Very cold there at the moment. Clear skies, -2, perfect. 06016, but it's pretty much down the runway, runway 03. Full and empty, love it. It was a straight line for as far as the eye could see, where the clouds were down at like 45 degrees. Ah, yeah, that is realistic. Anyway, this track's probably actually, if we were to go in a straight line, look, would take us towards the Peach Springs VOR, but we're going to be making a left turn shortly from Spencer Canyon to Diamond Creek, and look at that, we'll be directly overhead the canyon. We're directly overhead the canyon right now. If we look down, we'll see the Colorado River. There it is, just off to the left. Craig, looks amazing, thank you. Which graphic card are you using at the moment? Stream looks brilliant. So Chris Andrews, I've got a 3080. Thanks, Listerman, who's brought up my specs. And I'm getting 60 FPS, locked out at 60, which is what I've capped it at. So, yeah, it should be very silky smooth for you. Very happy with how the sim looks. PC's performing well. Let's not jinx it. When did the failures start? Oh, I'm still recovering. That video's at like over 30,000 views now. Approaching Spencer Canyon ahead. But we'll be turning left to follow the river. You can easily get disorientated here, making sure you're not following the right landmarks if you didn't have GPS. These 337s are locked for air surveys and photography because of the amazing visibility, yes, as we were discussing earlier. And one thing that was pointed out which I didn't realise, yes, you're ahead of the wing, so you can sort of look forward here. Ah, look at that, just stunning. If I was to repeat, I think that looks better than what Microsoft Flight Sim has offered. It looks amazing in Microsoft Flight Sim, but I don't know, just something about that just looks really good. I mean, it looks real. I mean, it looks like it's real. So I don't want to hear any of this explain series rubbish. Just down at Orfo. No effort. There we are, over Spencer Canyon, left turns Diamond Creek. Chris, is it dangerous that we wouldn't be able to see icing on the top of the wing, or is it only the leading edge that causes issues? Yeah, you don't. Ice doesn't really form on top of a wing in flight. It's the leading edge, which is the area which is what you want to watch out for, and ice adheres to. Yeah, we'll do another failure stream soon, guys. We will. I'm still recovering, but it was really beneficial for me to actually. I mean, it's incredibly unrealistic to have that many failures, all of them obviously different. And in a way, I was quite lucky. Yes, I had a rapid depressurization, and you know, more than half of the screens failed, and only after landing we lost control of one of the engines, didn't we? Very fortunate with the timing on that one. Thank you very much, ERS Aviation, for the $5.
What's your favourite 737 variant? Me personally, I like the 900.
Well, thank you very much, ERS Aviation. I mean, I've only flown the 800 and 700. Oh, and I've flown the Max. And I'm flying the Max all next week. I've got 4 flights on the Max, so expect some like nice pictures on socials and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to it. I've flown the 700. The 700 is a bit like a sports car in comparison to the 800, especially when it's empty. It's like an absolute rocket ship. Really tell the difference. You feel like it's pushing you back in the seat when you're taking off. My airline mostly has the 800 variant at the Max, and yeah, I've not flown the 900, so I don't know really how the differences there. A little bit more prone to tail strike. It's a lot longer, but yeah, the 800's I guess my favourite variant. It's the one I fly the most. As Brandon M has pointed out correctly. Anita, she loved the failure video. Ooh, this isn't so bad. Rapid depressurization, people falling out of the sky. It went from being okay, it's a 2-hour flight. First hour was fine. I was like, well, piece of cake. And then I had the rapid depressurization, and then it just went very quickly downhill. We did that, leveled off at 10,000. Then we had standby power failure. We then had screens failing left, right, and centre. Then the radio failed, VHF 1, whilst I was on FatSim, so I had to switch over to VHF 2. It was crazy. Oh dear. Long cat ice can grow over the leading edge and over the top if it's really bad on a light aircraft. Yeah, true. On a light aircraft, probably more prone to ice melting and running back. I mean, the 7.3 as well. Wing anti-ice on that. You really want to use that as a de-icer. So that's to say you actually let the ice build up, use wing anti-ice for a momentary period of time and then turn it off. If you leave the if you leave the wing anti-ice on all the time, the ice will form on the leading edge, melt, and then it will flow back on top of the wing and can refreeze. Chris Andrews, thanks for the Greyhounds captain and team. You're most welcome, and thanks to all the mods that help me here. Domino, Rosina and Listermin often here, and they're a great asset to me. They're really, really helpful, as are all the mods. Joshua, hello. I've been AWOL. What's X-Plane 12 like? I used to like X-Plane 11 for the GA aircraft and practical IFR approaches after real world flights. Wondering if X-Plane 12 is good to go for. This aircraft, as far as I can see, is absolutely splendid. And you can use it to fly IFR procedures. You've got the GPS here. And also, don't forget, I mean, I don't really want to change it in flight here, but if you go to the start of the stream, you've got the option for the even more modern fancy GPS with all the touchscreen buttons. Here you've got loads. It's very customizable, this add-on. It's great. You can change your paint scheme, you can choose presets, non-dynamic ones. I can add dirt and scratches and things like that. It's a really nice add-on. But yeah, enjoying flying this one here. So for GA, I'd recommend it, and I was certainly for a long time saying Microsoft Flight Simulator is probably your good to go for GA. I'd still say it's absolutely brilliant. But if you want to take the time to download Ortho, and it is daunting at first, but check out YouTube. There's some great setup videos there. That, you know, once it's all installed and set up, it does not take long. And as we've been saying here, I mean, look at it. It's absolutely glorious. Thanks 2 tons, 36 months as a member. Do you plan to have a Zebo mod failure stream when the mod is tuned to X-Plane 12? We can look at the differences there, but in my opinion, I think actually PMDG has a far better failure management system. I think the Zebo mod only has a set few failures models, and I don't think you can do time on theirs, but PMDG is quite comprehensive, it's quite pressed. It's not like a level D sim, there's quite a few things not, and there were some errors, for example, when we had that stream, like the FMC failed, but it didn't fail. I think there was a few little quirks with the what was it, the electrical system, but overall it was quite good. There we are. Overhead Victor Papa 749 following the canyon northbound now. This was called Diamond Creek. Canyon's going to be on our right and the left towards Twin Peaks, and then it's a steep right turn. And then we get to Cundy. Now, if you've only just joined in the stream, what we're going to do is when we get to Cundy, which is down here, we're going to route direct to Victor Papa Golf Charlie Alpha, which is here, and we're going to fly these corridors. These are real-world VFR corridors which keep you away from the no-fly zones. We're going to fly the Fossil Canyon corridor and the Dragon corridor. And have a good look out the window. Two tons, member. Yeah, I didn't even click. 36 months. 3 years ago, you clicked the join member button. 2 tons. Amazing. Thank you very much. Just before the pandemic. Crazy. Straticos, I wonder if the plane floats well. We could go rafting down the river. Wonderful. Anyway, check. I need to do my... What's the checks called? En route ones. No, Hazel's before aerobatics. Frida, fuel. We have, it's quite hard to see there, not very accurate are they, but just over, I'd say 70 gallons. Radios, we're following GPS, no radios tuned at the moment. Altitude, QNH is set, or inches of mercury, 9,500 feet. Oh, a compass drift actually. Oh, I think this is slave to magnetic north, so you don't actually have to align it. Was that 050, yes, it's slaved. And what's the last one? Direction. What's the last A? Fuel, radio, engine, DG, and altitude, isn't it? I can't remember. Oh, check the parameters. Look, got the cowl flaps in a beautiful position, just at a 400-degree cylinder head temperature. EGT burning. What's that? Fuel flow 70 pounds, 140 pounds. Oh, God. Oh, endurance is ages. Julia, Britson Brandon. Outrageous. There's the Colorado River down there. My cabin's so dark. Yeah, that is a problem in X-Plane 12. When you have sort of a bright day like this and looking up, it darkens everything. If you put your head down there, that's better. I just wish it could keep this sort of level of brightness. It's just, it goes up here, gets dark. Look, I don't like it personally. I personally don't like it, but hopefully they'll continue to refine cockpit lighting. So every aircraft in X-Plane suffers from it. Right guys, I'm just going to have a quick break. We're currently routing inbound to Victor Papa 791. When we get back, we'll get ready to position ourselves for these VFR corridors. And then once we're inbound on the last corridor, we'll start setting up for the DME arc here, which is this track, onto ILS 03. If you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like. If you want to subscribe to save latest content, it helps the channel out as well. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, just before 6:30 UK time. See you shortly. Thanks a lot for that intermission, guys. I just raided my chocolate cupboard and had some Twixes throughout the bounties. I shared it on Discord to the members. There we are. Inbound now to Cundy. You can see here the elevation's increasing. In real life, if I was doing this flight all the way, I'd be very aware of the minimum descent altitudes, but I can't find them here. I'd think on the actual aerodrome charts they'd be a lot more accurate. You've got some Moras here, 10, 4, 11, 7, but we should be okay here at 9,500 feet. But approaching Cundy, we're going to route direct to Victor Papa Golf Charlie Alpha, and we're not going to do this corridor, the tuck-up corridor. We're going to make a turn northeast towards this point here. We're just clipping the edge of this no-fly zone, and then going to go from here, Golf Charlie Charlie, across to Victor Papa Golf Charlie Delta. And this is the what's it called, the Fossil Canyon corridor. And we'll look out for Bedrock Canyon. Try and point out some of the topography here as well. Sim. Very good, very nice. No, don't like Bounty, Longcat. Bounty was chucked on the bin. But then we'll have a look at the ILS approach here. I mean, yes, it's just so... There's just nothing here, is there? Absolutely nothing. Oh, we're not having a Bounty yay or nay debate. We all have to agree that Bounty is not nice. It should not be put in chocolates. No issue with coconuts, but don't put it in a chocolate. I feel a revolt coming on. Unbelievable. Yeah, very nice Cessna C337 by Thranda Design. Very happy to have it in my virtual library. Most thanks to the team who sent it out. It is available now, $39.95. It's a premium product, but I think you're getting a lot of premium product with it as a purchase. So if you want a good, something different GA aircraft for X-Plane 12, it's got flight deck to sim thumbs up and approval. It's the time in cruise where the conversation eventually turns to food. 40 seconds to waypoint Cundy. And if we were to actually fly in a straight line, we'd knock off about 10 minutes of the flight time. But we've got to do these corridors. We're getting there nicely. In fact, what we'll do is we're getting a little bit closer. We'll tune up the VOR on the fields, which we'll be using anyway for the approach. 11165. Make that active. We're still picking up the bold VOR here. 11165. There's the left turn. 11165 is now active. There's the radio. You can see the needle pointing towards the beacon. 27.5. Love those little needle swings. It's great. And we'll put the ILS frequency on standby, which will be 1089 for later on. See me tuning it here on the radio tuning panel, and then nav to 1089. Perfect. So, inbound to Cundy, with a little bit off the beaten track now with regards to where Grand Canyon is, but that was just to, this is all the no-fly zone. Can you see that we're just, look at that, for tight. I think this is where the no-fly zone is actually depicted here on the VFR charts. And then we're going to go from there, the alpha point to Fossil Canyon corridor. Well, after that waypoint, the Fossil Canyon corridor starts at the Charlie Charlie waypoint. Do most of the X-Plane 11 aircraft work with X-Plane 12 these days? A lot of the devs have updated their respective aircraft into the sim. We just think FlyJ Sim have done their Q400. not the 200 Classic and 727. I'd really like to fly that again because I've uninstalled X-Plane 11. I think they said it's coming as a free update, which is quite cool. I think, don't quote me on that. The Rotate MD-80, Colomata Concorde, the Felis 747, which we flew quite recently, and I loved that, working really nicely in the sim. We're talking about cockpit lighting. It's definitely improved in X-Plane 12. That looks a lot better. It just needs to be not quite so dark. Just need to light it up there, but that actually looks really... I mean, look at it, right. That lighting and Grand Canyon ahead. That looks very, very nice. Yeah, 727. I want to see that in X-Plane 12 desperately. Not flown that for absolutely ages. But yeah, most devs have updated the aircraft to X-Plane 12. Two Tons, you heard the passenger Escobar call out the zero mod, brilliant. Dardo Osina, what does the Cessna pilot say when you ask him to fly across the Atlantic? He says, nah. Where's my... That was 2 out of 10. Yeah, 727 better be happening. It's such a beast. The aircraft sits here so nicely. You know, we're doing 145 knots continuously. Even though I forgot to start the flight time. How did I... was doing a takeoff roll. So function would have changed it. Enter. Never mind. It's reach flight editor, yes, that meme with that guy snoring. There we are. We're approaching tuck-up corridor, so we've made a left turn, and if we go left up there, that would have been the tuck-up corridor, flying north. We're going to carry on, slight right turn to Fossil Canyon corridor. Victor Papa Golf Charlie Charlie. Victor Papa Golf Charlie Charlie. I think the now is this the stock X-Plane 530? It seems to be really nice. It seems to be working really well. And those textures are a bit meh. How much does a roof cost? Nothing. It's on the house. Oh no. Just one thing I don't like about Microsoft Flight Sim is its shadows. Oh, I can't remember what they look like. But no, if you ever have anyone saying, oh, X-Plane 12 graphics, just point them towards the stream. Great. That sound. Dennis, I know I was looking for your every 10-minute new failure live stream recording, but it got taken down from your channel. Can I watch it? It's still, I hope it's not been taken down. It should be there. Making me nervous. It's still there. Right, so approaching Victor Papa Golf Charlie Charlie. There it is in the GPS. In 3.5 minutes, we're going to make a slight left turn, and then we'll be flying the Fossil Canyon corridor, which keeps you out of the no-fly zones. Now, I don't have any more charts, but I think there is a frequency you tune and also a minimum altitude you need to fly, or recommended altitude if you're going northeast and southwest. Pitot tube's still off, but pitot heat's off, but you wouldn't need them on. There's no signs of visible moisture. Actually, are there... I've just realised something. Are there any carburetor heaters on this? Is it natural? Oh, they're fuel... Are they... Is it a fuel-injected aircraft? Oh, Lauren, how would this look without ortho? Oh yeah, without ortho, it would look rubbish. Absolutely, it would look naff, as you said. Yeah, you've got to have ortho, and sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. It doesn't always work properly, but I've had very few problems with it. And sometimes if you have a non-default airport, you've got to get a special tile, haven't you, or one that's custom made. It does take time, whereas that's a massive negative. Microsoft Flight Simulator is much better for that. You can just fire it up and go. And what I really love about Microsoft Flight Simulator is that community folder. You just pop it in there, boom, it works. None of that different custom series files, having to download extra folders and stuff like that. That is a bit of a faffing. Well, it was a faffing explaining that. I found it, Dennis. Excellent. Anyway, this is a really cool part of the route. Move this over here. This is going to take us straight over the Grand Canyon, look. Line just to the north of Bedrock Canyon. Right over the Colorado River, look. To the north, and then we're going to cross it again to the south. Splendid. This is just a PDF found online. I put the arrows in, that was the only thing I changed. Approaching then Fossil Canyon Corridor. Wonder why it's called Fossil Canyon Corridor. I think there should be a bit more reddish tinge to the soil as well. Which source are they using? I'm using Bing Maps. A little red there, but I have actually been to the Grand Canyon. And it certainly is very red. Now we're approaching the edge of the canyon. I mean, it's completely flat here. I mean, all of this has been eroded from the Colorado River, isn't it? And then we're going to cross over to the other side. Here we go. Approaching... What's it called again? Fossil Canyon Corridor. Keep forgetting. There we are. Entering Fossil Canyon Corridor. This is an approved VFR corridor, which keeps you away from the no-fly zones. We're just overhead Victor Papa Golf Charlie Charlie. Look at that, and there is the Colorado River down here. You can see this part here. That is the main river. Alex, could your operator change your base and then ask force you to move? If they had reason to close the base for commercial reasons, and potentially yes, but it's extremely unlikely to happen. Extremely unlikely. Joseph Roy, why are there no fly zones? Good question. Maybe it's just to have some sort of controlled way of managing any VFR traffic. I honestly don't know. But a lot of places have VFR corridors, usually when busy airspace or around busy airports. There is the Colorado River down there, look at that. That's certainly got the right red tinge there. I'd guess that, Lauren. If I was to hazard a guess, that's what I would say. Look at that, crossing the canyon now. Look at that. Now obviously if you was to get down to 5 feet it wouldn't look as crisp and clear as that. This is just standard ortho. I've not actually done anything. Ah, thank you Nathan. The no-fly zones are in consideration for native wildlife. Very good. Look at this. There's like a cloud in the sky, but that's accurate. There's no clouds detected. It's just really nice to see the sim maturing. month and a half, 2 months ago, just before Explain 12 was released, it was sort of a bit... Well, it wasn't perfect, was it? Lots of problems, but now it's great. God, loving these on the side views. Jacob, what was the purpose of the design of this Cessna? What was their original thinking behind it? I mean, it's the redundancy of having 2 engines, but also without the drawback of having asymmetric thrust in the event of an engine failure. But it is a cool looking aeroplane. Make a slight detour to Fort Worth. There's currently 3 centimetres of accumulated ice here. Now that is a massive disadvantage of Ortho. Microsoft Flight Simulator have this nailed. It is dynamic weather, so when you have snow and ice, it accurately places that on the topography of the terrain. Looks really good. Doesn't work. I think they have ice and snow now and seasons in X-Plane 12, but Microsoft Flight Simulator nailed that. It's so much better. Astro, such a really good question. Is no clouds detected something to do with the fact that it's automated or something? I really don't know. Cabo K is your no clouds below 5,000 feet and visibility is in excess of 10,000 metres. I haven't actually looked at the difference there. Jared, I know it does, but I don't know how that works with Ortho. Or does it work with Ortho? I don't know. Yeah, that was it, Lauren, the military version, the O-2. Artillery airstrike spotting, reconnaissance and light attack roles in Vietnam. Oh, in X-Plane 12 you can get snow on Orthos. No way. I beg my pardon. That's really cool. Curious to how that looks. There we are. We've successfully traversed the Fossil Canyon corridor. We're going to make a slight right turn. We're not going all the way to this waypoint just to stay out of that airspace. I found this little waypoint called Dosit, which just keeps us to the north there. We are just sort of clipping these sort of natural reserve areas, but we are allowed to cross this one. Dragon Bravo, and then we're going to be downwind, look. With you, but no clouds detected does refer to the visibility. You can have no clouds but foggy conditions. Kappa K refers to clouds and visibility. Oh, yes, I think, yeah. Now, I'm just trying to think from experience. Usually when you see no clouds detected, they won't stipulate visibility. I've never had no clouds detected and then visibility. They'll just give you the visibility. Domino Mosina, does it just... we're just literally clipping it. So if we were going to route between the two, look, we'd be doing this. It's about here. I think we're literally just clipping this tiny bit here. So in real life, you just probably stay a little bit further north and then turn south towards Victor Papa Charlie. Now look at the terrain here. Now look at this. Mora's up to 11.7, and look how far we are. You know, actually we've got a radio altimeter, haven't we? Hold on. Yeah, look, we're only 1,500 feet above the ground here. We've got to be very careful. And be aware of the terrain. We're actually, even though we're at 9,500 feet, we're only 1,500 feet AGL. And yeah, look, the trees look a bit naff. That's the win for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it ain't bad. Yeah, I wish I was a little bit higher if I'm honest. In fact, guys, we're going to be getting quite close to ground. I didn't look at this in my pre-flight planning. 9,190 feet. We're only going to be 300 feet above the ground about there. There's 9,000 foot there, look. It's all good, it's all good. Is that a little grass strip there? What's that? Yeah. It's all good, it's all good. Jim's monitoring the radio altimeter. Yeah, this is why it's so important to be aware of your minimum descent altitudes, Moras, MSAs. We're way below the Mora here. Roads. So you can see as you get a bit lower, the Ortho doesn't look quite so good. We're only, what, 1,000 feet AGL now? Oh, not even that, look at that. Yeah, 1,000 feet. That's great. Yeah, if we had decided to be at 8.5 or 8,000 feet, we would be yes, clipping the trees. But you can see the terrain getting closer. In fact, I might just make a slight route modification. Let's go direct to the Charlie Golf Point now. There we go. Just just keeps us away from that highest part of that terrain. Wow! Jeebus. Yeah, I should think I'm meant to be considerably higher. You should have to worry about CDA if there's no descent. True. At Cloud Action, have we already tried to decide? Have we already tried to fly on one engine? I guess for your entertainment, I'll have to try and shut one down. We'll see. I'll feather it. I probably won't be able to restart it. Can we just get away from sort of this, you know, 450 feet AGL? It's alright, we're going to go back that direction. I mean, look how far we are from the Grand Canyon. It's all good, it's all good. Just approaching the minimum usage height for the autopilot, that's all. Whoa, 350 AGL. Can you imagine being an IMC down here? Whosever idea it was to go up to 9,500 feet, thank you very much, because I was not aware of this. All good. You can always smell the forest. Oh, what's going on here? There we are. Right. It's all good. We're now overhead. Victor, Papa Golf, Charlie Golf, heading southwest, right over the Grand Canyon again. And then when we get to the Charlie Foxtrot point, which is 6 minutes away, we'll start setting up for the approach. There we go. Is that even legal? Probably not, Joseph. Anyway, let's have a little look at this approach, guys. Explain what we're going to do. So, once we... Let me just put this as an overlay. We're going to just cross over this last corridor, which is the Dragon Corridor. Once we get here, the Dragon Corridor ends. We're going to redirect to Amir, and then we're going to fly this DME arc, okay, from Amir, 12 miles onto final, onto the ILS. So, 1089 is the ILS frequency, which is on standby. The final approach course is 030, so I'm actually going to set that on the RMI now. I'm just going to use GPS for a short while. Platform altitude 8,200 feet, so that's at Hapley. So we'll initially, well actually look, it's 9,000 feet for this point here. So what we're going to do is actually climb up to 9,000 feet. Oh, look at that. Climb up to 9,000 feet now. Oh, sorry, no, we're already at 9.5. We'll go down to 9,000 feet, 12 DME arc. So 239, 90 degrees south of that. We're going to be initially heading of 159. Maintain a 12 DME arc, turn 10, twist 10 until we get to the 214 radial. 214, we'll start turning final. We can go then from 9,000 feet down to 8,200. Intercept the ILS at 6.2 DME from Grand Canyon. Now, the ILS doesn't have DME co-located, so we have to tune up box 2. The problem is, what I've found with the 337, there's no DME receiver for DME 2, so I can put the ILS on box 1, but I haven't got any DME info, which is a bit of a shame. Or I don't know how to set it up anyway. Simultaneous reception of the localizer and DME required, you see, so you've got to tune the VOR for DME. Once we're there anyway, we'll send on the ILS, 8,200 feet, 3-degree ILS. We'll probably be doing less than 120 knots. We'll be needing 300 or 400 feet per minute in this aircraft. Down to the minimum, 6795. And the go around, it's climbed to 7,000 feet. and then a left turn 9,000 feet heading 180 outbound to the VOR, radial 204 and then to calms to hold. So it's exactly where we are, and then we can do another approach. Got plenty of fuel. MSA to the north is 10.5, so we are 1,000 feet below the MSA. We are completely visual here. Yeah, MSA 10.5. So long as we're visual, we can go below the MSA. And that's it. Courses are set, wireless frequencies are set. The radio altimeter does have a minimum selector. The decision height lights up, but there isn't any call out or anything associated with that. So that's what we're going to do today for the ILS. This navigraphic, it is superb every time. Every time I see it, I'm very impressed. Cool, and there we are. Overhead Dragon Corridor. Right over, for the last time, the Grand Canyon. Yeah, MSA's for IFR. Well, yeah, I'd argue it's not. If you're VFR, it's very important to be aware of the MSA. But from a sort of operational procedural point of view, at my operator, the MSA is obviously very important. For example, if you want to self-position for a visual approach, during the daytime VMCs, you can self-position below the MSA, but at night, it is forbidden to self-position below the MSA. You must be established on the approach before you can send or the arrival. Visual approaches at night, you're playing devil's advocate, it's a fool's game. So I don't fly, personally, I don't like flying visual approaches at night, unless you're fully aware. Well, if it's into Amsterdam, you know, okay, fair enough. I would never do anything like that here at night. There it is, crossing over the Colorado River one more time. We'll be landing in about 10 minutes. Stunning. Best scenery. I'm going to say this. I think it's the best scenery I've seen in the sim, in any sim. This right now. Controversial, but I can't. It'd be interesting to fire this up in Microsoft Flight Sim and compare just the same flight. I just find it all for a little bit crisper. I dimly remember an Aviation 101 vlog about going over a mountain at night in VFR. No thanks. Jim and I have been quite happy in here. There we are, edge of the canyon. There we land, and on our left-hand side, our destination should be there. Can't quite see it. There it is. That's where we're landing. Beautiful. Do you watch any other aviation YouTubers? Not really at ACI. I mean, what am I subscribed to? Very little aviation, I'll tell you. My subscriptions feed. I'm subscribed to NASA, Formula 1, some sim developers, some other flight sim streamers. I don't know, what have I done to my list? I can't actually find it, usually it just lists it all. That's it. Clay Pigeon, CPSA, Kurzgesagt, I really like their videos. Jay Foreman, one of the guys behind Mapmen, or the Mapmen videos. That's it. Don't watch much on YouTube. Anyway, should we start getting ready for this approach, because we're literally downwind. There is the airport off to our left-hand side. In fact, yeah, this is the lighting here is way off. It's just so dark in the cockpit still, which is a shame. But that's an explain thing. So let me just bring up the chart. So we're going to be flying now direct to Amir, which you can see here is in the GPS. Once we get to Amir, we're going to switch to conventional navigation. In fact, what I'm going to do now is match the heading, and we're just going to go heading select, There we are, heading select. We're going to start slowing down for the approach as well. So let me bring up the checklist here. So we're not going to really do a descent checklist because we're already sort of there. But I will start reducing the power to 15 to 20 inches. Do it nice and slowly so I don't shock cool anything. There we are. Now, this altitude, we're up at 9,500 feet. I don't really want to go fully rich because I'm not going to get the maximum power out of the aircraft. I'm going to go full on the RPM now, though. I will lean it off, increase it slightly, just to keep everything cool here. Cowl flaps need to be closed. Keep the heat in the engine. Cowl flaps closed. We've got 2 minutes until Amir. All breakers pushed in. Oh, just to show you the circuit breakers, look, there's the transponder. I think there's a transponder one here somewhere. Yeah, look, if I pull the transponder no longer works. So all the circuit breakers are modelled and working. Really nice touch. Transponder, beacon, fuel quantity. Pull the fuel quantity gauge. Look, 0. Push it back in. Well, there you go. I'll put the click spot out. Try again. There you go. All modelled. Very nice. So slowed right down now, doing 105 knots. Our tip. Oh, what's the Q&H here? Got 2 minutes until I'm here.
Welcome.
Thanks for subscribing, welcome on board. 2 smoky places to go. Grand Canyon altimeter is just resetting, just in case it's not live. 1023. 1023, which is 3021. Perfect. So the autopilot's going to climb back up to there. Just watch our speed. Ooh, a little bit slow there. Let's go up to about 30 inches. We'll maintain about 110 knots in this. Yeah. Yaroslav, the design of CB is questionable. You can't really see if it's any pops. Yeah, but don't forget when you're sat there in real life, you would see the white collar bit quite easily. It is a little bit easier to see. Right, so again we've got GPS, so what I'm going to do is switch over to conventional navigation now. So V-lock, and now this is going to provide localized information for us. The tail of a needle, remember, at the start of this arc. We want to be at, oops, oh no, where's the, hold on, I can't see the charts, can you? 239, well, the tail of a needle at 239, and here it is, look, almost there, 212, 222, 239. I'm just going to keep going all the way till I'm here, then we're going to use heading select, turn 10, twist 10. And then we can go down to 9,000 feet. Perfect. 22 seconds. DME's here at 11.2. Remember, what, 12 miles, 11.3. Oh, what's the rule of thumb to start the turn? Oh, 10 seconds. I think we should probably start turning now. So heading bug. It was 239 minus 90, so 159. 159. Bring up another graph, and then we're just going to keep it at 12 miles. There we are. Look, you see, we just started the turn there. So turn 10, twist 10. Now showing 12.1. We're flying away, so we'll turn it another 10 degrees. Go, oops, from 150. Oh, that's slave to the OBS. That's quite cool. We want to keep that on 030. 12.2. We're turning inside of that now. Turn another 10 degrees, 140. Speed's okay. We're a little bit fast now. It's quite hard to control this speed. Next is approach checklist. So max RPM I've done, power 15 to 20. I've sorted out the mixture. Cowl flaps are closed, lights are on, and then we'll start slowing down. What's that? It's 12.2, so we'll just keep turning. I'm 0.2 off here. Oh, these X checklists. I don't know why I've got 2. Let's just turn over 10 degrees, and we can go down to 9,000 feet. 9,000 feet is set. We'll just go vertical speeds. 500 feet. I'll just take a bit of power off. That's the gear warning horn, so don't have the gear down. Still at 12.2. Another 10 degrees. I'm just going to turn inside this. We're going to keep turning until we get to heading of 120 degrees. Should be not too far off it. There you go, look. Just waiting for the 214 radio. Once we're on the 214, we can turn final. Might as well keep it there. Fisher Price is back. Oh, yeah. It's like, it does sound like the Tupolev. Going down to 9,000, we need to maintain that until we're turning final. 12 DME, not bad, not bad. It's very hard to do a perfect curve turn. $9,000. Waiting for the tail of that needle on 214 for our final turn. Pulling that tail around. 215 nearly. 214, 11.9. We'll just keep it there. You can see the VORs coming in nicely. And there's 214, so I'm going to turn final. Let's tune the ILS. 1089. And 1089. There we are. Glide slope information. And there is the HSI. Alarm Vorlock, which is nav. We need to maintain 9,000 feet until we're established on final within 12 miles. We can then step down to 8,200 feet, intercept the ILS, and happily. Localizer not quite alive yet. Happy with that speed. It's 115 knots. I logged off of that, so no ATC. Localizer alive. Localizer capture, runway heading 030 set within 12 miles, so we can start our descent to 8,200 feet. So 8,200 feet, we're just going to do about a couple hundred feet per minute down, 200 feet. There we are. Start reducing a bit of power. And approach speed. So below 165 knots we can select flaps, so I'm going to select a natural flops very early. I'll pretend I'm in my 7.3, but there we are, natural flops coming out. Cal flaps closed, lights are on, parking brake, released, flaps below 139 knots for 1/3. And then next is landing. Happy with all that, that's fine. So we're just going to start, we're just going to maintain about 100 knots at the moment. Wait for the ILS to be intercepted. It's a great IFR equipped aircraft. Glide slope's alive. You can arm approach. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun in this. You can go VFR, enjoy the views like we have today. You can go full IFR. In IMC, you've got some basic de-icing tools. Really, really nice. I can't remember last time we did GA and X-Plane. 2-3 years ago. Really enjoyed it. Something slightly different. Turn on the Turbo eye tracker. Turbo's enabled. There we go. Perfect. Ah, yes, that's it. Almost got glide slope capture. About 95 knots. And we're going to go outside for this gear view because it is a cool landing gear. Look at that! Very nicely elevated. There's a lot of doors, isn't there? Glide slope capture, gears down, and green lights. We're at the blue line, so I'm going to select full flap now. Very early, no doubt. Start increasing the power, maintain 90 knots. Oh, you haven't heard the autopilot disconnect tone yet. I think that's looking good. Right, let's hand fly. Disconnecting. Oh yes, very Star Wars. So I'll do my best to pitch for speed and power for rate of descent. It is backwards to what we do in a commercial jet airliner, but I'll try my best. That's how I learned to fly on a light aircraft. We're on localizer on glide slope. We have slowed down very early. Can't remember what you typically configure on a straight-in on in a Cessna, but ideally ATC would not want you at this sort of speed if there's any jet or turboprop traffic. Localizer showing a fly right indication, so we'll just make a slight right turn. Just pitch down slightly to get back up to speed, 90 knots. ISO's good. Getting slightly left of centre line. Love these shadows. It's just too dark outside the shadows, unfortunately. Toby eye tracking is working beautifully. It feels really nice in roll, just how I remember in a light aircraft as well, sort of very jerky. And at slower speeds you have to make quite large inputs, when I was having to play around with it the other day. A little high on glide slope. It's correcting. Should need more than 500 feet per minute in this thing. So back on the centre line. I have no idea what the surface wind is. Space Invaders sound, I just saw that in chat. That's what my eyes were looking over at the chat display. What's the elevation here? I can't remember. Airport elevation 6,600. So about 1,000 feet AGL now. Speed's good. Tiny bit higher the glide slope. There is a very unrealistic control tower, I have to confess. Explain 12, someone's put it there. You can already see it sticking out of the ground. Now, all the way from Las Vegas to here. And we went the scenic route as well. 90 knot speed's good. Pitching down slightly back on glide slope. The glide slope deviation is just here. Look, you can see the arrow showing a. Oh, well, I can just pop it out. Look. Oh, that's really neat actually. So I'll just increase that rate of percent. Look, get back on the glide slope. There we are, bang on glide slope. The localizer is showing fly right. It's just flying right. There we are. Definitely some sort of crosswind here. So our nose is around 10 degrees to the right. There you go, getting high again. So just keep that scan going, making sure everything's within limits. Don't think there's any pappies on this runway. Speed's perfect. And we'll just close the throttle over the threshold. A little bit low on the glide slope now, so just rest the rate of descent. Don't need to level off. There we are. That pitches look good. So keep the runway. Doesn't matter if you're in a 737 or a Cessna. Keep the runway at the same point in the windscreen. If you want to stay on the correct path all the way to a touchdown. It works. Jim's fallen asleep. Over the airport boundary on glide on localizer. Just below the glide slope there slightly. Keep descending now. Right, cutting the power and rounding out. Oh, beautiful! -54. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grand Canyon National Park. What a butter! A Cessna 337 butter. Lovely. We'll just add a bit of power here because we've got a long runway. We'll take the next right. Beautiful. That's a replay. Look at that obnoxious control tower. I'm sure there would be some complaints about that there. Oh, I haven't had a. I think that's the smoothest GA butter we've ever had. We'll take the next right. Excellent. Yeah, great add-on. Really enjoyed it. Flaps coming up. Sounds are great. Really nice sounds. That control tower. Please remove that, someone. Right, vacated at Echo. We'll take a left turn onto Papa. And taxi's pretty straightforward here. It's just a straight line. And general aviation parking is going to be on the right up here. I don't know if there's any commercial flights into this airport. But yeah, very, very nice. Right, let's do the clean up. Cue some taxi-in music. That's not my taxi-in music. That's my taxi-in music. There we go. Beautiful. Right, let's have a look here. Landing. So yeah, configured very early, but let's just get it all under control. Right, go around we didn't have to do. After landing, power's idle, flaps are up, which I've done. Next, headset propeller power. Set mixture lean a little, which is already leaned. Cowl flaps we can now open. Make sure I've not blown anything. Yeah, cylinder head temperatures are fine now. 345, 344. They see they'll cool down quite quickly because I've now opened the cowl flaps. Fuel pumps off, which they already are. Strobe lights and landing lights can come off. Leave the taxi light on. Transponder to standby. Flight time noted. Flaps are up. And next is shut down and secure. We'll just taxi up here. We'll park next to a little GA aeroplane there. But yeah, really nice add-on. Something a bit different. I know most of you guys are wanting to see the fly the 7.3, but do like to jump into other aircraft occasionally. Yeah, so I saw this one recently, so I was like, oh, that would be really good fun. It's like a unique design as well. The tower needs to be only half of its current height. I don't think even that. But yeah, I was very impressed by the ortho scenery. When I downloaded it, I was like, oh, maybe I need to get some sort of patch or something, but I know it's just standard big maps. Very nice. But this add-on worked really nice. Everything seems to work beautifully. The temperatures all seem to be correct. Yeah, I remember I don't fly these aircraft GA anymore, so it can take some time to just get up to speed with it. But yeah, really happy with this add-on. 10 out of 10 for the prop animations. I think that King Air, parking next to that King Air is cool. This is where I parked on my test sector. Perfect. I don't want to follow the yellow line, otherwise we might be dinking our wing there. Well, no, I'm not in a 7.3 to be fair. APU please, Jim. That makes it so much louder. Power needed up here. Bit of differential braking. Prop animations are superb. I can't see. There we go, that'll do. Right, on stand. Parking brake is set. Let's finish this checklist then. So the shutdown is secure. So propeller high RPM, it's on the highest it can go. Power set 1200 RPM. Less there. Perfect. Mixture lean a little. It is leaned a little already. Or is it? No. I'll lean it a little bit more. All breakers are in. Flight plan we deleted. Transponder power off. There we are. Power off. Flaps are fully up. Avionics power can come off. There we are. Avionics are off. Power idle now. Mixture lean. And I will just turn up these sound takes. You get that lovely hot metal sound effect in this. Let me just turn this music down here and have a little listen to the spitting hot metal. Can you hear that? Now that reminds me of my PPL, hearing that hot metal sound, everything cooling down there. There we are, so that's all done. We were meant to have waited a minute actually before doing that there, but then the avionics power off the aircraft, all switches off, and then you go home and enjoy the Grand Canyon on a tour. There we go. Great. So let's go outside. You can see we've parked up nicely here. This is just standard X-Plane 12 scenery, and that was the Thranda Design 337 Skymaster, or someone. Oh God, let's not comment on my parking. Yeah, it's available as I said for $40 now. Great add-on for a GA aircraft. Yeah, if you want to pay for a premium aircraft, get that quality, sometimes you have to, but I think it's a good investment if you really like this aircraft or want to fly GA in X-Plane 12. Just all the features seem to work really nicely, all the systems seem to be modelled. Not an expert of course, but you know, we're manipulating all the controls and seeing the temperatures change. Great to see. Really enjoying how X-Plane 12 is progressing. Get yourself some Ortho 4XP. It's such a valuable asset for the sim, one that's needed I think as well. The stock scenery is a bit pants, but for me, the fact that Ortho works just as it did in X-Plane 11 is great to see. Let's have a look here. Some of the comments. Excellent, thanks all. Love that plane. I'll check it out for sure. Thanks Stratocast, Roby Sut, nice view, Grand Canyon, Colorado River 2. Thank you very much. Great flight. Craig Maddox, good work, Captain. Great stream as always. Thank you very much. Nakai, next video, 737 pilot flies an A320. I've done that before. It's been a long time since we flown the Phoenix A320, but or maybe another one. We'll see. Daniel D, you did -23 in the Caribbean in the default Cessna 172. Yeah, was that one of the flights we were just messing around and I crashed in the Seneca? That was my first and only ever crash in a sim, and I was messing around. But yes, lots of butter emojis. It was a good one for sure. But yeah, thank you indeed for tuning in. Let's now have a look at the replay. So let me just do this here. Turn that off. Turn that on. Replay music should be going on now. Yes, it worked. Right, let me just turn that down slightly. That is incredibly loud. Let me just turn off Fly Live as well. Yeah, nice approach. I was pretty happy with that. For someone that doesn't fly GA, let me just wind that back. Let's have a look here from the threshold of the runway. Crank up the volume. Well, that sounds like a 337. Oh, great sounds, aren't they? Awesome. I think that FMOD sounds perfect. Ding dong. Hello. Can we just get the sound one more time? Great sounds. When it went right over. Oops. Come back. Silky smooth. Look at the aircraft behaviour as well. Oh, I like this sim a lot. We'll jump into Microsoft Flight Sim again. Just great. Let's do one from here, roughly where we touched down. Max reverse thrust. Super. Right. What view are we going to go for? Well, let's go for rear cabin wing view for this replay. Right, let me just turn the sounds down here so I can hear myself think. There we go. So I'll pop you at around 4 or 5 mile final in this aircraft. Excellent. Well, as I mentioned, this is the Thranda Design 337 Skymaster. It's available in the X-Plane store for $39.95. Great little add-on. Very pleased to have flown it today as well. Great to have flown it in X-Plane 12 with the Ortho 4XP. For everyone that donated, thank you very much for your generosity. To all the members, thank you very much for your continued support. And if you enjoy the video and would like to stay up to date with the latest content, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, helps out a lot. And hopefully I'll be next live at some point during the weekend. I won't be on tomorrow, and I'm working on Friday, so that's it. Members, as ever, feel free to DM me on Discord if you have any questions, or ping me up, no problem at all. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and I'll see you on another live stream very soon. Cheerio.